Hello students, welcome back to VA NEET Academy. So till now we have seen many organelles like mitochondria, Golgi bodies, endoplasmic reticulums, vacuoles, plastids, etc. isn't it? Now today's class is a very important class which is on nucleus, the center of all the organelles, the center of a cell, the control center of a cell you can say. Now, nucleus plays a very important role in a cell's growth, metabolism, protein synthesis, cell division, etc. etc. So, let us start our class for today. Now, before that, just to make you easily remember what is the role of a nucleus, an easy analogy I'll give you. Now, supposingly your school is there, who is the control power? Who has the control power in a school? It's your principal, right? So you can have an easy analogy of nucleus as the principal of a cell. Okay, so every decision which is being taken for the cell is taken by the nucleus of the cell. So let's begin our today's class, and if any doubts, do comment me so that I can clarify your doubts. Hope you enjoy the class and don't mug up things, understand the concept and learn. Hello students, welcome back. Now today's class will be on nucleus. So nucleus, as I said in the intro video, that it is the control center of the cell. Okay, so let's start with the definition of nucleus. What is the definition of nucleus? Okay, so you can define the nucleus. The nucleus is a membrane bound organelle. Okay, it's a membrane bound organelle, okay, that controls all cellular activities and contains the genetic material. Okay, and what is the genetic material? It is nothing but your DNA. Okay, so this is how you can define the nucleus as. The nucleus is a membrane bound organelle that controls all cellular activities. Everything it controls and contains the genetic material, that is your DNA. Because it controls all the cellular activity, this is why we call it as the control center of the cell. Clear students? Now let us move into the discovery of nucleus, discoverer of nucleus. Okay, so this nucleus was discovered by a scientist called as Robert Brown. Okay, Robert Brown in the year 1831. Okay, and he found it in orchid cells. He found a dense spherical structure inside the cell and named this structure as nucleus. Okay, a dense spherical structure inside the cell, and he called it as nucleus. Who called it as nucleus? Robert Brown in the year 1831, and this was the discovery of nucleus. Now let us talk about an important topic, which is the structure of nucleus. So we will see what are the structures present in a nucleus. Okay, so the first structure you see in nucleus is nuclear envelope. Okay, now what is a nuclear envelope? Nuclear envelope is nothing but a double membrane. Okay, it's a double membrane, okay, surrounding the nucleus. It is a double membrane surrounding the nucleus. Okay, so when you talk about the function, what is the function of a nuclear envelope? What is the function? Probably, what should be the function? It protects the, what is present inside the nucleus? The genetic material. Okay, so it protects the genetic material. So that's the role of a nuclear envelope. Nuclear envelope is double membrane and it protects the genetic material. Simple, right? Okay, so let us see what is the other component in the structure. You see a nuclear pores. Nuclear pores. Pores are nothing but small opening, right? So, what are the pores? They are nothing but small openings. Openings present on the nuclear membrane. Okay, they are the small opening present on the nuclear membrane. So, guess what is the function of these openings? What could be the function of this nuclear pores? It allows the movement of material. That's it. Very simple, right? It allows the movement of material between what? Between nucleus and cytoplasm. Nucleus and cytoplasm. Clear, students? So, this is about nuclear pore. So, next see what is the next important structure present. You can see also nucleoplasm. Nucleoplasm. Okay, nucleoplasm. What is nucleoplasm? As we have seen, what is cytoplasm? It is nothing but the semi-fluid kind of matrix present inside the nucleus. This is why we call it as nucleoplasm, isn't it? So, it is a semi-fluid matrix present inside the nucleus, and this is why we call it as a nucleoplasm. Now, guess what could be the function of this nucleoplasm, the fluid, semi-fluid? It is nothing but it supports the nuclear component. Okay, it supports the nuclear components. Okay, so this is the role of a nucleoplasm. It supports the nuclear components. Clear, students? Okay, so another important structure, let's see what is it. It is nucleolus. Nucleolus. Okay, so what is a nucleolus? It is a dense spherical body inside nucleus. It is a dense spherical body inside nucleus. And what is its function? What is its function? Its function is to produce ribosomes. So, that is its function. Okay, so let us see the last component in the structure of a nucleus, which is called as chromatin. Okay, chromatin. What is a chromatin? When you define a chromatin, it is nothing but a thread-like structure. It is a thread-like structure made of DNA. It is a thread-like structure made of DNA. That's it. Okay. Of course, DNA along with certain, and I'll also write proteins, because chromatin is not only DNA, it is also a combination of protein. Okay. So, it has a role to play in cell division. So, what happens is during cell division, this chromatin, so during cell division, what happens? This chromatin condenses. This chromatin condenses to form chromosomes. Clear, students? This chromatin condenses to form chromosome only during cell division. Okay, so hope it's clear. Okay, now we'll see what is its function. Its function is to carry hereditary information, because chromatin is a DNA, isn't it? So it carries the information, isn't it? Okay, so just because I think it's not visible very clearly to you when I go towards extreme right. Right, I will just try to focus it little bit. Yeah. Okay, students. Right. So hope it's clear. Now let us try and draw the diagram based on the structures we have seen. We have seen nuclear envelope, we have seen nuclear pores, we have seen nucleoplasm, we have seen nucleolus, we have seen chromatin. Okay. Now if I ask you to draw the structure, you will be drawing a simple circle with breaks in between. Okay. So these are the breaks in between, and I told you it's a double membrane, so draw a double membranous structure like this. Okay, so it's a double membrane structure, clear? And just join the double membrane structure to just show it's a membrane bound portion of a cell. So this is all inside a cell, remember students. Okay, this is all inside a cell. We are drawing the cell nucleus inside a cell. Okay, so now apart from that, it has something called as a nucleolus, which is a dense spherical body. According to our definition, it's a dense spherical body. Okay, and then it has some chromatin structures, which are nothing but a thread like structures present inside the nucleus. Okay, thread like structure present inside the nucleus, and then we see some matrix, semi fluid matrix inside the nucleus, which is called as nucleoplasm. Clear? Okay, so this is how you can draw the diagram for a nucleus. Now let us try and label it. Now what is this, students? This is a nuclear envelope, or else we can say nuclear membrane. This is the nuclear pore. Okay, this is a nucleolus. Okay, this is your chromatin. Now what is left out in the structure? The semi fluid matrix, which is called as nucleoplasm. Okay, right? Now these are all the cytoplasm. This is all the cytoplasm of a cell. Don't confuse it with the nucleoplasm of a nucleus. Clear? So hope the structure is clear. Very easy to remember based on our definition. Just remember the structure, the components of a structure. Nuclear envelope is there, nuclear pore is there, nucleoplasm is there, nucleolus is there, and the chromatin is there. Chromatin is nothing but a combination of DNA and proteins, a thread like structure. Okay, so hope it's clear, students. So let's move on to the next topic, which is our functions of a nucleus. So let's come to the other topic, which is your function of nucleus. Okay, so let's see what are the functions, important functions of a nucleus. It is the very important function, the primary function. It is the control center of the cell. So it controls. Why is it called the control center? Because it controls all activities of a cell. It controls all activities of a cell. For example, growth. It controls the growth. It controls the metabolism of a cell. It controls the protein synthesis of a cell. Okay, so it controls everything, like it controls cell division, So everything is being controlled by the nucleus, and hence it is the primary function is it is the control center of the cell. Second important function is storage. Storage of what? Storage of genetic material. And what is a genetic material? It is your DNA. Okay, so you can say it stores DNA, and because it stores DNA, it stores the, what does DNA store? DNA stores the hereditary information. Okay, so nucleus is the one which stores the hereditary information. This is another important function of a nucleus. Third function is cell division. Cell division. Okay, so nucleus plays a very important role during cell division. For example, during the process of mitosis and meiosis. This you will learn as we proceed in our classes. Okay, slowly, right? So now just remember that it has a role to play in the process of mitosis and as well as in the meiosis. Okay, fourth function is hereditary. Okay, so don't get confused with the second function, storage of genetic material. It stores the information. Now it also plays an important role in hereditary. Okay, hereditary. Okay, so what is hereditary? It is transfer of genetic trait. Okay, genetic traits from where? From parents to offsprings, right? So you might have seen that you resemble either your mom or your dad, right? So this is because of hereditary, that is the information has been transferred to you either from your a mother or from your dad, or is from both of them. Some might contain the trait of both the parents. So this is because of the hereditary function. Clear, students? Okay, so hope you are clear with the function. Main function is to control, to store the information, and during cell division and transfer of genetic information from one generation to another. Now let's see a small but very important topic about what is chromosome and DNA. So you should know the difference between a chromosome and a DNA. Okay, well, I am not going to talk in much detail. Just remember, students, DNA, when you combine it with certain proteins, now if you want me to talk specific about the protein, it is histones. Okay, the protein name is histones. Okay, so DNA when combined with protein, you call it as chromatin. Okay, now when this chromatin condenses to form chromosomes. Clear, students? So DNA is different, chromosome is different. Remember always, DNA is different, DNA is naked without any protein, and chromosome is a combination of DNA plus protein to form chromatin. And when this chromatin condense means shrink. Okay, when they shrink, they form chromosomes. Clear? To make you more clear, imagine a structure of a spring. Have you seen a spring in your pen like this? Isn't it? It's shrinked, right? Now when you open up, it will be like this, much more longer than its original length. So when you condense it, it becomes like this. Okay, now because it is a spring, it is a stiff structure, it can stay stable in a shrinked form. But our DNA is a thread like structure which need a support to stay in a condensed form. So that support is your proteins. Okay, so when the DNA combines with proteins, you call it as chromatin. Okay, and this chromatin further condenses like this to form chromosomes. So this is a chromatin and this is a chromosome. Hope it's clear. Okay, a very simple example to make you understand or to keep you, remember the confusion not to happen. So, simple analogy is just remember the spring. Okay. So, nucleus, now let us see about, okay, now a human fact which usually is asked in the NEET exams. Okay. So, human body cells have 46 chromosomes. Okay, human body cells have 46 chromosomes. Human body cells have 46 chromosomes, or else you can say 23 pairs of chromosomes. This is usually a NEET based question which is being asked often in the NEET exams. Okay. So, let us see the nucleus in different cells, different cell types. So, we have seen already that you have two different cell type. One is the eukaryotic cell, okay, eukaryotic cells. Now, eukaryotic cells have a well defined nucleus, okay, they have a well defined nucleus. Example are your plants and animal cells. Examples are plants and animal cells, okay. And then another cell type is your prokaryotes, prokaryotic cells. Now, prokaryotic cells, they do not have a true nucleus. True nucleus is absent. Okay, true nucleus is absent. They do not have a proper nucleus. Okay, and DNA is present inside a structure called as nucleoid. DNA is seen in nucleoid. So, they do not have a proper nucleus. Prokaryotes do not have a proper nucleus, isn't it? Okay, example is our bacterial cell, bacteria example. You can talk about bacteria. Clear, students? Hope the class was clear to all of you, and any doubts in the class, do comment so that I can answer your questions. So, see you in the next class tomorrow. I will come up with the MCQs on nucleus. Do check out our channel. So, that was about today's class on nucleus. So, hope you loved it. And remember the analogy of spring to differentiate between what is a chromatin and what is a chromosome, so that you are not confused anymore with these two words. Chromosome is a condensed form of chromatin, and chromatin is a combination of DNA and proteins. Do comment me on this video, or if you have any if you need any clarification, do subscribe VA NEET Academy for more such videos.